All right, thank you for staying with the Monday Report. We extended the time just to squeeze in all the questions you have. Let's bring them up and see how many we can answer here. There are quite a number of them coming through. Many people interested in having this conversation. Let's bring that up and see what you're saying. What are you saying? Mutindi says that if I pay 800, for example, for the family package instead of paying 200 for 4 months, do I automatically qualify for benefits in case of misfortune after 4 months? Okay, you can answer that as the claims officer.
Okay.
So if the person says, if that's Mutindi, Vero says, what if I pay 800, for example, for the family package instead of paying 200 for 4 months, do I automatically qualify for benefits in case of misfortune after 4 months?
Okay, Trevor, what happens is we have a 4-month grace period, and that is not compromised.
Yeah.
Because you don't understand where we are and the Kenya that we live in. Something like KUPA, people will feel like we are selling death. But in real sense, we are selling a solution. We are giving a solution to the circumstances surrounding death. And that's the reason why we don't need to come to KUPA, because you've seen somebody at the verge of dying. That is the reason as to why people feel like, why can't I just pay for even a whole year and benefit the following day in case something happens? They have seen a problem coming. Therefore, grace period is a must. It is 4 months. And in case anything happens before that, probably we are not going to support. However, we have got a solution the other side, the food basket. Because food basket also matures in 4 months. But in an instance of accidental death, then the food basket matures even after 1 day. So we give you an opportunity that for the welfare, it has to be 4 months, but for the food basket in case of accidental death. And when I say accidental death, it is not suicide. It is accidental death.
Okay.
Yes.
So when there's an accident now, you can waive that 4 months period because that is something somebody did not foresee.
Yes.
Okay.
For this, in the case of the food basket, that is the cash benefit.
All right. Let's bring up more questions here. There's a lot of them. I'll try to go through them as much as we can. And that's Irene. Says, Trevor, please ask the CEO, what if someone has been contributing for like 2 years and no one has passed away in the family, and with the tough economic times, you have to stop contributing to KUPA? Where does my contribution go? Can I get it back?
Yeah, I just want to remind Irene that this is not savings. This is just contributions that are meant to help those who are bereaved at that time. So if you are contributing every month, know that you are helping or you are supporting your friend, your colleague, your relative who is mourning their loved one, and they need your support. So our work is to pull resources together so that we can help those who are at need. Yes.
Okay. So there's no compensation?
There's no compensation.
And how does default work?
Basically, every month you get a message, a reminder message that you're supposed to pay by 10th.
Okay.
Because KUPA, we are not a non-governmental organization. We don't get funding from abroad. We get support or we get resources from the contribution from the members. So basically, these contributions are channeled to different needs in the organization.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you pay that money every month, you cannot claim it after some time.
Okay.
The defaulting works like this. If you don't pay in a period of 2 months, then it is systemized. You are going to become a defaulter, and you are required to pay only 30 shillings for you to come back and you continue paying.
Okay.
So
how long is that grace period as a default? So say I've been paying religiously and then something happens, I maybe lose my job or something, I'm unable to pay for 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, actually when you come back, when you pay and you come back, then you get suspended for 4 months again.
Okay.
Yeah, because actually we don't want to open a Pandoran box whereby people will default and tomorrow they come back and they pay only 500 that they owed us, and tomorrow they report that they have lost their loved one. actually it is a big risk.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we are coming up with the mechanisms to also protect us from the risk.
Okay. And I see here there's a question from Maina Kageni. The same Maina Kageni says, geez, but do they cover cremation?
Actually, cremation in Kenya, I don't know if it's our culture. But I know we have big plans to change this industry, funeral industry. And I know as time goes by, we have those plans.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll expand and cover that as well.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let's bring up the feedback as well. There's still more questions coming through. It's in regard to this. George Amolo says, kindly ask the CEO of KUPA Kenya to give clarification on what they term as food basket in the various categories. Yeah, Paul, you can even get into this as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Food basket, that's a name that brings it closer. Actually, it is a cash benefit.
Okay.
We understand that in a funeral, when you have got the logistical support that we have talked about, that's the coffin, the transportation, the mortuary bill, the clothing, lowering gear, gazebo tent and trolley. But we also have got other financial needs in a burial. That includes food. You also need to feed your visitors, all those people who have come to mourn with you, and also other things. And that's why we decided to bring in a cash benefit that can support that. So in terms of cash benefit, from 50,000 up to 500,000, depending on the choice of the client.
Yeah.
So for example, if you're doing class A of 50,000 Kenyan shillings, meaning you only pay 664 shillings for a family cover, that's a nuclear family.
Yeah.
That means yourself, a spouse, and up to 4 children. And these 4 children are 18 years and below.
Okay. They have to be 18 and below.
The 18 years and below.
Okay.
But can be extended up to 24 years with the proof of being in college.
Okay.
So if there's a proof of this child being in college, then food basket can still cover them.
Yeah.
But when they're 25 and above, we normally need them to be in a separate cover because they can decide now to marry, also to be on their own, or even take care of the parents who are taking care of them earlier on. So that means 664 shillings only per year covers you for 50,000. On top of the services, you also get that cash.
Okay.
When you're doing class B of 75,000, you only need to pay 992. So for 992 shillings, you do yourself, your spouse, and 4 children as well. You
That's
also
992 per year.
Per year.
Okay.
But remember, we can also take care of your parents.
Yeah.
But in this, there's a limit that is 74 years and below. As we speak, parents are covered on food basket 75 years and below. So if you've got a parent who is more than 74, however, they will not be able to enroll in the food basket, but they'll be taken care of by the welfare. But we're also working out on extending this age up to 100 years due to the request by a number of our clients who are feeling like, why are we leaving these elderly parents out of the cash benefit? But Trevor, you understand that when it comes to cash and the elderly, there's also risk factors that are also here. And we also have to take care of it and look at it so that we do not injure the organization at the expense of the client. But it is on course.
Okay.
So we have got 100,000 for class C. You only pay 1,320. For 1,320 shillings per year, you are covered. If you have a parent, you pay 1,224 shillings for each and every parent. So take a scenario of class A of 50, and you have got 4 parents. That's a mother, a father, a mother-in-law, and also a father-in-law. You will be able to pay the 664 for the nuclear family, and then 612 times 4 parents. And that comes to 3,112. But the following year, when you're doing the renewal and probably a parent, you had lost a parent, you don't need to pay for a parent who is gone. Now the premium comes down. Okay.
Yes. And it's still 250,000. I see it here actually on your website. All this information is in your website. Yeah. This is class D.
Class E. 250 is class E.
250 is class E, class D is 150, and class F is 500,000. My concern with this is that, first, it looks too good to be true. How do you mitigate the risks? Because even if you pay 6,576 based on what is on your website, this essentially is just 500 shillings per month. but then you can get a food basket of 500,000. How do you mitigate the risk?
Actually, this is economic of scale.
Yeah.
And we know there's a lot of risk because if you promise something, you have to deliver.
Yeah.
So for us, we ensure that we do a lot of marketing because this is a solution and it isn't a burden for our people. So we have done a lot of marketing. We have our field agents who walk around and people are attracted. They have embraced the product.
Yeah.
We have around 137 members countrywide.
137,000.
137,000 members.
Countrywide. These are all active members contributing.
Active members.
Okay.
Trevor, we also want to talk about the group cover. We also have a group cover, whereby if you're a group registered and you are between 10 and above, we can give you a cover, and it's very affordable.
So chamas can do
Chamas
this.
can join,
Women
imagine,
group, youth
at
group.
30 shillings per month.
30 shillings per month.
Per month, you are, as an individual, in a group, you can take this cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if there are 10, it's 30 times 10.
Yes.
So each and every person, if
you see a group of 10, each one, they have their own family.
Yes.
Yeah, so for kids, it's only 10 bob.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then it's cheaper to be a member.
It's affordable. It's affordable. Yes.
You prefer the term affordable rather than cheap. Okay. Let's bring up some of the questions. There's quite a number of them, and I'm trying to get through them really fast here. Reverend Chagusya says, I'm a member of KUPA Kenya. How many members are we in total? You just answered that, 137,000 and more. What is the target, by the way? Or
basically, if you look at our vision,
yeah.
When we say to facilitate Kenyans,
Yeah.
that is the number.
All Kenyans?
All Kenyans.
Okay.
Because we believe that we are the best funeral service. We are the best welfare that provides funeral service in Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's bring up more questions here. There's a lot of them. I'll try and bring them in twos or threes. And Kennedy Mweu says, extended family that I pay 250 covers how many family members? How many family members for 250?
Okay. 250 covers a nuclear family and biological parents of the paternal. That means if, as myself, Paul, I'm the principal member, that 250 covers myself, my spouse, all my children below 18 years, even if they are 10, even if they are 20, as long as they are my biological children, then that 250 covers them, plus my biological parents, mother and father below 70 years of age.
Okay.
But if the parents are above 70 years of age, then we go to the next category.
Okay.
So this 250 covers a nuclear family and parents, but below 70 years of age.
Parents of the principal
member. Of the
member,
principal member. Yes.
Not your in-laws.
Not in-laws.
Okay.
But if you also had in-laws and they're still within the age limit, you only pay 350. So everybody's covered.
Okay. Let's bring up more questions here. And Peter says, thank the guests. Suppose I died and family keeps my body for more than 2 weeks. Will KUPA Kenya still cover the costs?
What happens, it's a policy that we do mortuary expense for 2 weeks. That is 14 days.
14 days.
So if the family decides to have you for the next 2 months till morning, when the time comes, we'll only pay the mortuary bill for 14 days, and then the rest of the bill, you'll suit.
Okay. Let's bring up more questions here. Alan Oduor says, kindly ask KUPA Kenya, what happens when the principal contributor dies? How is that claim made if the rest of the family members were not kept in the loop, since people don't want to talk about death and preparations for it? From Majewa in Bondo.
So basically, we train our field agents when they go to register.
Yeah.
It is mandatory for the principal member to nominate 2 next of kin. And it is their responsibility to go and inform them that they have joined KUPA Kenya.
Okay.
So in case they don't do that, we will not know, and you cannot blame us.
Okay.
But out of the claims that we receive, we have trained our field officer very well, and they have to ensure that you nominate someone who will report in case you die. But also, it is the responsibility of the principal member also to nominate a person and also to ensure that any claim is reported.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring up another question here. We're running out of time, but let's try and squeeze in maybe one or two more and see what you're saying. Frank says, I'd like to ask, do you give out job opportunities? Sina certificates za kuwa mortician, but naweza pata hata kama ni licensing, hata kama ni ile cleaning. Okay.
Actually,
how many employees do you have? Directly and indirectly?
Around 600.
600. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And indirectly, or is that the general family?
General.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have job opportunities. We normally advertise on our Facebook page. And in case you are qualified, bring in your application.
Okay. Is there any other question, or let's take a last one here before we wind up. And S. Okumu says, as the CEO, how do we handle, for example, 2 or more siblings with different families but have covered the same parents in the event of a loss of one parent? I'm a beneficiary, and I highly recommend KUPA Kenya. Okay, so they're one of the people who benefited from KUPA Kenya. How do you handle that?
So basically,
siblings, family?
Our system will identify.
Okay.
We cannot allow you to register two siblings registering one parent, because it means that you will claim 2 coffins.
Yeah.
And 2 gowns and all that.
Okay.
So for us, we have a system that will automatically detect and flag any person who is already in the system.
Okay.
And we are going to make a call and inquire how you are related with this person. And after that, we are going to ask you to decide who will take care of the parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Paul, there's a question here from Kola, Jedung Kola Jr. Says, ask them to repeat the ages and the amount paid monthly. So individual is 100, and then what are the other categories?
Okay. Individual cover, that is anybody between 18 years to 69.
Yeah.
You only pay 100 shillings per month.
Okay.
Then if you're a couple, that's a husband and wife, still within the same age bracket, 18 to 69, you will pay 150. That's called a couple's cover.
Okay.
Then we have got the gold, that is a family cover, where we have got the mother, father, and all children below 18 years, irrespective of their number, and that is 200 per month.
Okay.
Then we have got the alpha membership, where we include the parents of the principal member. And this is where we look at the age, because what gives us your billing is the age of the parents or the age of the older parent. So if the parents, all of them, or either of them, is below 69 as well, meaning everybody in the cover is below 9 years, you'll pay 250 shillings per month. But if you have got a parent between 70 to 79, then the cover moves to 400. This 400, the billing has been done according to the age of the parent, but it takes care of all of you. Between 80 to 89 for this parent, it is 500 shillings per month.
Okay.
And finally, a parent between 90 to 100, and only KUPA Kenya covers up to that age. Most of these other associations and insurance, ukifika at that age, they feel like, no, you are living in the bonus. But for KUPA Kenya, we believe in life, and we believe that God has given our members and our Kenyans long years. We only pay 700 shillings per month, and all of you are taken care of.
Because the risk factor is higher then.
It's higher then.
Okay.
But also remember, we do not increase the amount because you've increased in age. If Trevor came in as a member at the age of 69, meaning the following year he'll be turning 70, we don't need to tell you now pay 400 because you've turned 70. You'll continue paying 100 shillings until the end. Okay. So the only point where we increase the amount is when a child turns 18, because now he's no longer a child but an adult. Okay. Therefore, you'll be required to add additional 100. But before we just impose that on you, we normally give you a communication and ask you to decide whether you want to continue paying for this child or you want the child to take care of himself being an adult. Okay. But remember one thing, Trevor. At any point, if you've ever been asked, there's a funeral and you've been asked, when do you think we are going to do the burial? And then you say Friday. One thing that you should know is that the burial expense is on you. Ukisema Friday, they know that you have got the coffin, you have got the mortuary bill, you have got the clothing, and you have the capacity and capability to conduct it. Otherwise, ungesema, I'm still waiting to consult with other siblings.
Okay.
So let us not fear this conversation, because when it comes and it does not know whether you are once time interacted with KUPA Kenya or not, but you still need us.
Okay.
So we need Kenyans, and Kenyans need us, and we are here to support and to make sure that the funeral industry is made easy for all our clients.
All right. John, there's another question here from Maurice Matunga, who says, how do you handle polygamists? And the other question from him is also, do KUPA have regional offices and workshops, or does one have to travel to Nairobi to choose a coffin?
Yeah, actually, for polygamous family, we allow you to register your wives, and they are registered as different families. You become the principal member, and you take care of these families. What we don't allow is your name as the husband to appear in these families, because they will claim.
Okay. Closing remarks, let me start with you, Paul. What would you like?
And then the regional, we are all over. We are all over Kenya. We are in Kisumu, at Mega City. We are in Katito. We are in Awase. We are in Moroni. We are in Siaya. We are in Migori, Machakos. We have offices. We are coming to Mombasa very soon. And we have members all over Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
And abroad.
And abroad.
All right. Paul, closing remarks. What is the one message you'd like to pass to the people today?
Oh, my message to Kenyans, that at least if you don't want to take care of yourself, do not make the people behind you suffer in case you are gone. I might decide that, okay, if I die, it's up to them. Nitawanukia hapo. But what about the people that you're leaving behind? At least take care of them. Give them easy time to plan for your burial at ease, and make sure that you are accorded the best that can be done. Take an example of where someone has suffered because of a disease or sickness or illness for quite a long time, and then you give them a decent send off. How will it be?
Okay. John, closing.
Yeah, my final message is, we have a campaign of reaching out to 2 million Kenyans. The moment we hit 2 million, we reduce the price. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for making time this evening. John Onyango Tolo, the CEO, KUPA Kenya, and Paul Ogola, KUPA beneficiary as well, and an employee there. You say the claims manager at KUPA Kenya. Thank you so much for making time this evening, and thank you all for indulging us in all the conversations and all the questions that you sent through. I'm sure their social media team will answer as many of them as we can. If we didn't answer most of them here, we're leaving it there for now. On behalf of everybody else who made this possible, say good night and God bless. Bye for now. My name is Trevor Ombija.